Joined now by Dr. Paul Fadale, University Orthopedics. Good to see you, doctor. I know you've been staying busy. All right, I want to talk about the injury game as it relates to sports professionally and even in high school sports. Let's start with this. I was surprised week one in the NFL that we didn't see guys limping off the field in stretchers. And I don't say that to be funny, but without preseason games, I thought there would be a rash of injuries. Were you surprised that there weren't as many as at least I thought?
I think everyone thought the same concept. Nobody thought they were ready to go, battle hardened, gone through some preseason games. That's what that's all about, to get them ready for the season. It was just bang and let's go. It was amazing that they weren't just taking them off the cards all the time. So that was a really great, pleasant surprise. Let's see if we can keep it going. And perhaps we'll find out that those preseason games maybe put them at risk. We don't know. So this may be a blessing in disguise.
Yeah, I tweeted that out Sunday night because I thought the play was good in the NFL. I thought guys would be rusty, but it was pretty good. Preseason still, us the fans want to watch it, and it helps a lot of guys who no one knows about get jobs. But other than that, for the starters, they looked pretty good. All right, now all Patriot fans, even though they had the win on Sunday, are all worried about Cam Newton because is it sustainable for a guy even of that size to run this many times? He ran the ball 15 times Sunday. Obviously, what are the risk factors when you run the ball that many times, get tackled, even if you have that body frame he does?
So I joked with people. They said, "Hey, what'd you think of the game?" I said, my eyes were closed the whole game. They said, "What are you talking about? That guy can't run like that." This is week one. I'm assuming because he's learning, how to go through his check down for passes. If they're going to have him run for the season in the NFL, it's hard to believe he's going to last. It's not possible. Maybe not possible. So he's an elite athlete, make no doubt about it. But it'd be nice to see maybe if he throws a little more and surprise runs a little less. He's going to get hurt.
Yeah, Bill Belichick saying a lot of the runs were based on what the defense was doing. He decided to run. In addition to the wear and tear on your body, from a throwing perspective, obviously he needs his right shoulder. Is that, if you were the team doctor for the Patriots, is that what you'd be most concerned about? Or is it any, part of the body that requires him to throw the ball?
When a 300-pound lineman drops on you, any part can go. But as you know, you lead with your shoulder. You saw him putting his head down, leading with his shoulder. And then when they get on the ground, you land on your shoulder. He doesn't have a good shoulder.
Yeah.
And so he looked great, but you're always thinking about that one 300-pound guy or a couple of guys landed on his shoulder, and then he does it, something went awry. Something tore or got injured again.
Right.
Oh my God. And that's going to put, that everyone's going to pause. Why is this guy out there running for, unless it's, an uncommon play.
Right. All right, I want to switch gears to basketball. All Celtics fans know Gordon Hayward and ankle aren't two things you want to hear. A couple years ago, he shattered his ankle on opening night. He lost his entire season. Grade 3 sprain, they're saying, for the one he suffered down in Orlando. He's starting to practice again. In your experience, what is the recovery time for that? And what percentage will he be if or when he returns to the court?
So to some degree, when an athlete gets hurt, you shift to the other side. You become, you're more on the other leg or more on the other arm. He doesn't have a whole lot of wiggle room here. And so you worry that his recovery is going to be a tiny bit slower. He'll be a little bit more tentative. Things that are really hard to pick up, maybe the coaching staff will. We're never going to pick that up. So this may take him a little bit of time. Now, grade 3 ankle sprain, there's an enormous variation in what a grade 3 ankle sprain is. But I would be a little bit concerned that when he comes back, it might be a little slightly tentative till we're sure that both legs are working pretty good.
All right, and I want to bring it back to high school sports. Obviously, we know there's no football and boys volleyball right now, but soccer's a go, cross country, tennis, field hockey. How many injuries have you seen so far as teams are just starting to practice again? And what do you anticipate sort of being the case this fall as players are maybe jumping back into their sport quickly, or they haven't been with their team as much, or just the scenario we're living with a pandemic with high school athletes?
Yeah, this is just absolutely all over the map. So right now we haven't had a ginormous influx of athletes because there's not a lot of people that are really playing. In sandlot ball, which some people don't even know what that is, doesn't really occur anymore. So it's organized or almost nothing. The worry is that once again, kids may not be fully ready to go when bang, they're ready to go and pushed into a position where they're perhaps more at risk of injury. And what scares me is this crazy pandemic where nobody knows where this thing is going. So what you hope is when the kids go back, it's safe for them to go back and they're not passing this bug around as the season goes on. But we don't know that. There is no way to know. We don't have the money that pro sports has to test all these athletes. It's just never going to happen. So it's like an experiment. We're going to let it go and kind of follow and pray to God that it goes quietly.
All right, we'll be keeping an eye on that. All right, Paul Fadale from University Orthopedics, thanks so much for joining us. Hopefully there's no major Patriots injuries in the foreseeable future, but we hope to talk to you again soon.
Thank you, Yianni. Be good.